This is the fifth episode of the Road Log, San Francisco, Reno, Salt Lake City, Moab, back to San Francisco. We are in Salt Lake City now, hitting the road back to Reno through the desert. So this is going to be a road trip, a long uh, road trip day actually, from Salt Lake City to Reno through the high plateau desert. I want to talk about a couple of things. I'm gonna do this trip by myself. So loneliness, feeling alive and free and lonely at the same time, those feelings are certainly going through my body right now. I want to talk a little bit also about the first day of the year, the performance, and a little bit of an outlook maybe for the year, if I may. So this is the Not Even Wrong podcast. It's January 3rd, 2022. This is Krim Delco. For the day, the fund is up 10.5%. The market is up 40 basis points. This is the first day of trading. There's a reset, as usual, on January 1st. So as of today, this is our first day of trading, our first day of performance, mainly driven by Tesla. Tesla has delivered outstanding numbers for Q4. They beat all the estimates, and that's also, of course, expectations for a very good earnings report coming in January. With this outperformance, we're talking, let's say, 10 to 12, 15,000 cars more than expected. And of course, that is going all to the bottom line because of the operating leverage. I think that's probably part of the main reason why we have such a great outperformance for the stock. So before I go into the road trip conversation, I just want to talk a little bit about the outlook for the market. I think we are looking at definitely some pandemic risk, economic risk, clog down of the economy, all those sort of things that are on people's minds. The only good thing about this is, of course, that it's not a surprise in a sense that we shouldn't be shocked if we hear further bottlenecks in the economy, particularly in the travel business, for example, and those sort of things. But I also have some hopeful ideas about this. I feel that because this pandemic now is so widespread that it could also become part of normality. Finally, we have all the things that we spoke about this in the beginning of the pandemic, such as herd immunity, normality in the sense that we can't hide from this anymore. So it is a very uncomfortable truth. It's kind of like the flu, maybe a tough flu, but it's still something that we just have to live with. And therefore, hopefully we can normalize also our economy and in particular, get away with all the pandemic privileges that we were giving away for people for good reasons in the beginning. But I think now certainly it's sort of turning into a big detriment for the economy. We need people to go back to work. We need to stop paying people for not working under the pretext of COVID risk. And all of those things need to normalize. And I believe that we have a chance with this pandemic spreading so fast that hopefully it will get to that point. So I think this would be my first most important outlook for the year, that hopefully we get normalization, recovery of the economy. As far as our positions are concerned, in the recap, I spoke about the sort of lack of performance we had in the biotech index. We hope that we can correct that this year. We had one high flyer, which is Intelia, and that is certainly our best position also in the biotech index. And hopefully they can they can deliver to their promise and really get to those clinical results and scientific breakthroughs that we all hope for, not just for our portfolio and the investment performance, but also, of course, for the patients. As far as Bitcoin is concerned, our third largest position, Bitcoin is a macro trade for us, replacement of monetary policy through rule-based policy. We've spoken about this at length, and given the macro situation, we believe there's no reason to believe that we will not have a continuation of favorable dynamics for Bitcoin. Excuse me. Now let's get to the road trip. So I'm in Salt Lake City now and hitting the road towards Reno. It's about an 8.5 hour drive, including charging with my Tesla. It's going to be a mainly autopilot situation, which is great. Highly recommended for people to do this kinds of trips with the Tesla. And how do I feel? I feel excited. There's a little bit of loneliness, maybe in some of the, yeah, what, how should I say? There's some loneliness definitely uh, going through my mind as I'm embarking on this long trip through the desert. There's also excitement. There is hopefully I can listen to some interesting books, and hopefully also I can, you know, condition my mind further and get to inspirations, ideas, all those sort of things that come with loneliness, with emptiness, with space, with all these things. I'm leaving my family behind. They're gonna fly back, which is great for them. I might ski tomorrow in Tahoe. We'll see. So, how was this trip so far? I think it was a great trip, a nice trip. We did some skiing, we did some hiking in Moab. We had a lot of days in Salt Lake City. Some of those days maybe were a little bit, yeah, lay low type of days where we didn't do much. We got sick sometimes. But overall, I think it was a very successful trip because we learned things, we saw things. Moab was a new experience. We also experienced the drive even further away from San Francisco. So for next time, maybe we can drive all the way to Telluride or Aspen as a next road trip. I think that's one of the things that Tesla does. It just gives you this feeling of road tripping, and that's a great feeling, a feeling of freedom. Maybe that's how people felt back in the 50s when the highway system was built and the cars started to evolve around the highway system. I think this is a new evolution in transportation with Tesla, with autopilot, with electric charging, and all those sort of things. Beautiful things, I think. And Yeah, we are very excited about this ability for our Tesla to just, you know, jump in the car and get going and go to places. We've done this road trip last year already. We went to Salt Lake and then up to Ketchum and back. And now this time we did it. We went down south. We went to Moab. A beautiful thing. I think it is important also for me myself to have that ability to get out to do things that maybe I don't do on a daily basis. Like I said in the prelude to this road trip, it's about conditioning your mind. It's about trying new things, and this type of road trip is certainly part of it. I actually prefer it a lot more than traveling by plane and all this stuff. I mean, sometimes you travel by plane, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But having this ability for road trips is just a liberating feeling, and I think that's how I want to end this episode. I highly encourage for people. It's a great start of the year. Hopefully, we have many more days of great success in the market and also feeling good, feeling excited about the future. Thank you.